प्रणवार्ताय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्ताय शुद्धज्ञानमूर्तये। स्वामी निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लंबोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राद्या पारिषद्या परस्तथं विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम गणनान् त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनाम वित्रयवतु। गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। तच्छंयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं तन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे संचतुष्पदे। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतो भृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलं पुरुष ये वेदगुं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यम् उतामृतत्वत्तेषानः यदन्नेनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अतो ज्यायागश्च पुरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादूर्ध्व उदय पुरुषः पादोऽस्येह भवात् पुनः ततो विश्वं व्यक्रामत् शासनानशने अभि तस्मात् विराट जायत विराजो अधिपुरुषः स जातो अत्यरिच्यते paschat bhumimato purah yat purushena havisha deva yajyamatanvata vasanto asya sidajyam grishma yudhna sharadhavihi. With Bhagavan's grace, namaskarams to you all. With Bhagavan's grace, we came up to this point in our last session. Summary. So, because it's been a week, right? So let's quickly recap a brief meaning, introduction to meaning, I must say. Now, this Bhagavan is Parama Purushan with infinite heads and infinite eyes and infinite legs. He is present, pervading everywhere, and but he is beyond. Is immeasurable. He is beyond the ability to understand or measure. He is beyond all that. Whatever was there before, whatever is happening now, whatever is going to happen, everything is this Parama Purushan only. Purusha Eva. Also, on top of that, Bhagavan, who is the master, the Isa of the immortality for the Amrtatvam, he is present beyond what is perceived, what is cognized in this prapancham as the master of immortality. Now, in this prapancham, which is really an annamayam, because everything requires nutrition, food to live, to sustain. Because of that food, what was invisible now becomes manifest, becomes visible. That is also, whatever becomes visible, because of annam, because of food, is also this Adi Purusha, this Parama Purusha only. Whatever we see here, we hear here, smell, taste, and touch, whatever it is, that is all his Mahima only, main mind. Ivarudia Mahimaye, Mahatmyame. Now, but this Parama Purushan is beyond all this. He is bigger than that. Yes, it is all his Mahima and Mainmai, but he is beyond all this. He is greater than all this. Is only one amsam is there that we are able to see here in the Prapancham. The three parts is in indestructible, immortal. It is in Paramapadam. Now, this Tripada Purusha, the Bhagavan, who is actually in Paramapadam, he is actually beyond the Tripadam also. Okay, that Bhagavan, the Isa of Amrtatvam, he is shining beyond. He is shining here in this Prapancham, but he is also shining beyond that. Whatever is shining here, the effulgence, is all shining brilliance only in his brilliance. Its brilliance is brilliant. When I say beyond, it does not mean physically beyond. It is a sukshmam. Whatever is so effulgent that even the prapancham that we are able to perceive is also shining in that effulgence. Okay, within that effulgence, very important. But this one amsam of him, again and again, it manifests itself in a cognizable way. And when it manifests itself, from there, jivarasigal, as we call it, some of them depending on food, and some do not need food. Some require annam, some do not require annam. They also manifest up to this point, jivargal. Now, from this, once the jivargal, which is basically unfulfilled desires, which is what we call mind is the one that keeps taking birth. So once the jivarasigal manifest, then from this Adi Purusha, this Parama Purusha, Brahmanda Nayaka, we say, Adi Purusha, Parama Purusha is Brahmanda Nayaka. From him, this Brahmandam manifests. The consciousness of huge, great, that greatness, that bigness, expansiveness, that consciousness, that consciousness is effulgent, isn't it? And if you just go into a dark room with no light on and you just see, open your eyes and see, you get a feeling of how big this is. Even though there is no light outside, that effulgence is within. You have the feeling of hugeness, bigness. And that manifested in congruence with that feeling of vastness and greatness to the Brahmandam. Then the abhimani of that, the congruence with that, one Purusha was also manifested. This Purusha is Virata Purusha. And because he manifested, it's all Bhagavan's creation. How we're going through the process of creation now. Parama Purusha, the Tripada Purusha, beyond that, we see up to this point that he decides to manifest. Then Jivarasigal, with requiring food, not requiring food, they manifest. Then the concept, the consciousness of bigness, the vastness, the Brahmanda concept, that manifests. In congruence with that, a Purusha also manifests, and that Purusha then pervades everywhere because he manifested along with the incongruence with this. Then he created Srishtika, the Bhumi. Then all the other, he created the embodiments for the Jivarasigal that are already created, already manifested by Bhagavan. So the Virata Purusha gave gross form, embodiments to all the Jivarasigal. Now, it's very important. Next slokam also we covered, so I'll take it up. And then before moving on to the next mantram, we'll cover the last mantram again. That Purushena Avisha, that mantram, so from which the Virata Purusha Vadivam, whom we call as Brahma, okay, Brahma, the name Brahma is given because he is Brahmandam, is manifested in congruence, as part of this consciousness of Brahmandam. Okay, so he is called Brahmanda, Brahmanda Nayaka, then Brahma. Okay, Brahmanda Nayaka, Brahmandam, then Brahma. Okay, this Brahma gives the gross manifestation, the gross embodiment for you, for me, for everything. But the Jivarasigal, for whom these gross forms are given, that was already manifested before the Brahmandam. From Brahmanda Nayaka they came. That is why we are all called Amurtasya Putraha. Okay. Now, this Virata Purushan, Brahma we call, with Havis, the Brahma, when you say Purusha, that Brahma is the all-pervading bigness. Now, using that bigness as a tool, okay, Devargal, which yajnam they performed, that is a manasika yajnam, we're going to come to that in a minute. For that yajnam, the Vasanta Kalam is like ghee, which means the yajnam is becoming all it being fed, so it can burn beautifully. And when the flame, when it burns so much, and that is what we call a summer or Grishma Rutu. And the Grishma Rutu is known as a Samitikal. In Agni, we offer first ghee, nei, so that the Jyoti comes, and then to make it grow further, we feed Samit, which is the wooden sticks. That is the summer, the Kodai column, okay, Grishma Rutu. Then at the end of it, the winter, the Sarat Rutu is the final harvest. This is for the Manasika Yajna. Exactly what is happening in your life and my life. How so? Because we go to the next mantram, we need to understand what happened here. This is process of creation is being described here by Bhagavan, by the Rishigar, and the creation is taking place even this Shanam. Okay, in your mind and in your life and my life, because the mind is constantly creating. Okay, this is how it happens. Now, what happened when the Virata Purusha manifested in a congruence as part of this Brahmandam, from Brahmanda Nayaka to Brahmandam to Brahma? This Brahma, this Virata Purusha, did not know what to do. He was actionless, inactive. So Bhagavan, whom we call as Aniruddha, asked Brahma, why are you not carrying out the job I gave you? And then Brahma says, Swami, I don't know. What? He really didn't know. First, it was Ahamkaram. That's another story in Bhagavatam. I don't want to get into that now. But then he says, I really don't know. Then Aniruddha Narayan, Swami Bhagavan tells him, listen, you do one yajna. Yajna means tapas. And for this yajna means again, sacrifice. Remember, submitting everything to Bhagavan, right? Brahma, originally Virata Purusha, wanted to do everything himself, nothing happened. Then when he surrendered and submitted himself, and then Bhagavan says, this is what you do. Okay, this is a tapas yajnam that you do. It's a manasika yajnam. Now, when you do that, you will have the power, the ability to create all the srishtigal that take place. But what is this yajnam that you have to do? This is a manasika yajnam. Please remember, before it comes to dhyana, okay? First, the mind has to go towards Bhagavan. That is the manasika yajnam. Once the mind is put in Bhagavan's lotus feet, then we dhyana, we stay there. Okay, that comes at the end. Okay, we come to that in a minute. So first is the manasika yajnam. You and I, everybody has to do this first. So he says in this yajnam, your indriya devadegal, okay, use them as ritvikas, which means ritvikas are the Vedic chanters, the mantrangal, using the Vedic mantras. You all submit your own sariram itself as havis into the fire, into the yajna fire, whole body. That's what you and I are doing. We don't realize it. My body is being offered continuously in the fire as havis. Okay, like a firefly goes and shoots into the jyoti and gives up its own body. You and I are doing exactly the same thing, no difference. So this is the original command from Bhagavan. That's what's happening even today in your life and my life. Okay, so use the mantrangal as the Ritvik, Vedic mantrangal as the Ritvik. Your Indra Devadegal, use that, which means whatever I hear, whatever I speak, whatever it is, the Devadegal associated with that must be, the Vedic mantra means what? Pure, in the company of Bhagavan. Okay, that is what it is. Then my body itself should be offered as service. Then you do dhyanam. And what is the dhyanam you should do? That I am the enjoyer of this yajnam and the yajna purusha. So whatever I submit, where does it go? I am the enjoyer. You do dhyanam on that. And when you do that, then what will happen is that as soon as you embrace me with that dhyanam, immediately this whole prapanjam, it becomes your own body. Okay, this is what happens to you and to me. If I do dhyanam, my mind expands, heart expands. Then I can be with the whole prapanjam, no difference. That's what he tells Brahma, and this is happening now. Then, from that, okay, that is how Brahma, the body became Brahmandam also. From that, then whatever was there before, in the previous sargam, whatever was present, the same form, same bodies you create. Okay? But bodies have already been created. They have to be manifested. That's all Brahma's job is. Okay? Then you become the Srishtikarta. This Srishti Yajnam whoever knows this is what is taking place, he becomes a Jivan Mukta in this birth itself. This is the overall meaning of this last slokam we covered. Yet Purushena Havisha Deva Yajnam Atanvata Basantaha Asya Asit Ajyam Grishmaha Idmaha Sarad Havihi Havis. Okay? Now, so if you personalize it, I hope you got an insight into it. You should not read it as Purusha Suktam, something that happened, millions of years ago and all that, Padma Kalpam and Svetavaraha Kalpam, like that. We read in Bhagavatam and say everything happened in the past and the current Kalpam, we are in the second 51st year of Brahma, etc., etc., etc. These are all fine and dandy, okay? But Atyatishtat Dasangulam, always remember that whatever it is happening right this Kshanam. So if I do that, this applies to me. By doing Manasika Yajnam and Bhagavan, I can actually become one with the whole universe. That is what becoming Brahmandam means. Then all the Srishtigal, whatever my Sankalpa means will happen. But after I do Dhyanam on that. Okay, very important. First is the Manasika Yajnam, then Dhyanam, then Havis. Then what Dhyanam is? Whatever is happening is Bhagavan. Okay. And this Paramapurushan, Brahmanda Nayakan, and he is the one who is enjoying all this with that mindset. As Bhagavan Swami says very beautifully, he prompts, he helps, he acts, he enjoys. There's nothing more. Okay, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagnau, Brahmana Utam, Brahmaivatena Gandavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Same thing what Swami says. In a way that we understand in English, with due to Kasturi's translation. He prompts, he helps. Help means gives all the things required to do that. He acts. He also enjoys. Nothing more. That oneness, when it comes, I become Brahman itself. That is what meaning of this. Okay, for that Devargal or the Indriya Powergal and all that must be used for that. So then the next question comes. Swami, if it applies to me personally, there are several. Yajnam is taking place, okay. At least intellectually I understand it. But how is it taking place in my life? I don't understand it. Intellectually I agree because you say it is taking place. The Vedic Rishi says, okay, I take it. But how is it taking place? Next mantram describes it. Saptasyasan paridhayah Sapta Samidha Krutaha. Let's take that first. Saptasyasan paridhayah Sapta Samidha Krutaha. Now, Sapta Asya Asanna Paridayah. Paridhigal. Paridhi means in a yajnam, if you to look at a homakundam, okay, surrounding that homakundam, there will be, we put what I call as dharbai, which is actually called paridhi. These will be put around those Agni Kundam. Okay, they're not figuratively speaking. Now, Sapta Asya in the Yajnatirke, for this Yajnam that is taking place in your life and my life, let us personalize it, because Purusha Suktam is a very personal experience. It is not just a Vedic mantram we chant and go away. Okay, it's a personal thing. We must personalize all this. Okay, and so Asya, for this Yajnam that is taking place in my life, Sapta Paridayaha Asine. Sapta, 7. Paridayaha, Paridhigal, Asanne, happen. There are 7 what Paridhigal is happening in my life as for this Yajnam that is taking place. There are 7 Paridhigal are there. Happening means they are there already. What is the 7? Remember, the creation is Bhagavan first decides to separate himself from himself, he created himself from himself. And Ekoham Bahusyam, we say, well, he was one and he became many. When he had the Sankalpam, the Sabdam associated with that, the power of separation, we call it as cosmic sound in science. They're not able to break that sound. They don't understand what is there beyond that scientifically. That Sabdam is, we call as Omkaram. Now, Sabdamayi then manifests with all this. There's got to be some niyamam, some discipline with that, isn't it? So for that, the 7 Paridigal was the first one, which means the Vedam is going to come again. Now it's going to manifest. That's happening next. But before the Vedangal manifest, there are meters, chandas it is called, okay? That is already being used to perform the yajnam. Perform the yajnam, I need the Veda Mantrangal. But the Veda Mantrangal has to be set to a certain meter, isn't it? It cannot be all haphazard and go all the way. So 7 meters first are being used. Okay, these 7 chandaskal it is called. Okay, Gayatri. Those of you who do Sandhya Vandanam, you will already know, so I don't have to go through that. If you want to, I'll put that in the group. Okay, in the text message. So 7 chandaskal. Gayatri is one of them. Okay, and then another one you're all familiar with is Anushtup Chandas, which is what are Sahasranama. Most of the Bhagavad Gita, these are all generally set in Anushtup Chandas, okay, which is 32 Aksharangal, Gayatri is 24 Aksharangal, like that. So there are different set of Aksharangal going from all the way from 24 to 48. So let me move on. So 7 Chandas, Sapta Paridayaha, they became Paridaya. Remember, the Paridayaha is the Paridigal or the Darbai put around the Agnihundam, the Jyoti, right, in which the yajna is performed. So this is the boundary. This is the boundary within which Omkaram, the Veda Mantrangal operate, not Omkaram. Veda Mantrangal operate within this. Now there are some slight variation, but basically within this. Then next one is, so Saptasyasan Paridayah. Next one, we have to pronounce it properly. Okay, very important. Akshara Shuddham is very important in Vedic Mantrangal, in chanting them. First padam is Trihi. Trihi means 3. Then Sapta is 7. We saw that. Samidhak, Tris, Sapta, Samidhak, Krutaha. There is a Sandhi sound between Trihi and Sapta. We should always say that. Okay. Tris Sapta, when you say it together. When you break it up, it becomes Trihi Sapta. 3 times 7 is 21. Now, what is 21? 21. Samittukal. Samittukal. Now, Samittukal are the wooden sticks that get put into the yajna fire. They burn. They give themselves up. We have all seen this. So what are the 21 Samittukal that we are talking of in my life and in your life also? So Tris Sapta Samidhak Krutaha. So for this, for the yajnam, Tris Sapta 21 Samitaha Samittukalaha Krutaha, they made Sayyapattana, okay? They were made to be Samittukal, made to be the 21. What are those 21? In the beginning, first there was the Panchapoodangal, 5 Tanmatregal. Each Budam has a Tanmatre with it. For example, Akasam has got Sabdam, right, like that. And Prithvi has got all the 5 Tanmatregal, right? So the Tanmatregal, 5 and 5 Panchabhutangal. That is what we call as external world. What we call as external world. They're not external, but we call in the Prapancham, in the Maya. Now, to relate, to cognize, to perceive, to touch something has to be from within me also, isn't it? Otherwise, I cannot relate. It's like two hands joining. Okay, like a magnet attracting this thing. You need two things. Because creation is always two, remember. Okay, when there's only one, there is no creation. Now, the jnana indriyangal, to perceive the cognizable jnana indriyangal we have, okay, which are the tools that are used, which is eye, ears, nose, tongue, and our skin. With these five, the five tanmatraigal that are present in the Panchabhutangal are cognized. The devargal, the power that cognizes is the devargal. For each indriyan, there is a devar. Okay, that is another thing. So pancha jnana indriyangal, five. Then once I perceive and cognize, I also act. These are the karma indriyangal, five. So 4 times 5 is 20. Now there is one problem. What we call as a problem, which is Bhagavan's Leela, okay, seems to be a problem, at least for me at my level, okay, is the ahamkaram. Ahamkaram. Kartaham manyate iti, says Bhagavan and Krishna in the Gita. He thinks he is doing it. That's what I think. I think I am doing this. No, it's actually Bhagavan doing it. The feeling that I am, this body, mind is doing it, that is the 21st. All these 21 things, aspects that are within me, actually, they have to be used. They are given to be used as samittigal in the yajna fire, in the yajna agni. That agni also is Bhagavan only. My job is to use them as samit and put it in that fire, submit it. So this is the thing. So, saptasyasan paridayah sapta samidak krutaha devayat yajnantan vanah abadhan purusham pasum. For this yajnam, the overall meaning is, okay, Devaha yat yajnam tanvanaha. For that yajnam, remember, Devargal are doing this yajnam. Devargal means the power in my eye, that is Surya Bhagavan as one deva. For that we give it a name. Yes, the eye is the indriyam I have, jnana indriyam I have. And with that eye, I do the action of seeing. But the power to see is Surya Bhagavan. So what is the yajnam Surya Bhagavan is doing? Is submitting whatever I see to this Parama Purusha. Whatever I hear, okay, through my ears, must be submitted to him. Like that. That is the meaning. Yet devaha devakal yajnam, this yajnatai, this yagatai, tanvanaha, doing that. Seivavargaloi, the powers behind each of our ability to ability, all those jnana indriyangal, ability to see, ability to hear, the touch and know and smell and taste and all that. Each one has got a power, Sakti. That Sakti is automatically doing yajnam only. I cannot stop it. I interfere thinking I am doing it. This is the only difference. I think I am doing it. In fact, the Devargal are doing the yajnam. Using this body. The body has to be given as havis. Okay? But I think I am doing it and get into all kinds of trouble. That is another issue. So when the Devargal, they're already doing this yajnam. For this yajnam, yat purusham. Okay? This yat purusham, pasum abadhan. For every yagam, there is a yaga pasu, a cow. Pasu that is associated with the yajnam. For this yajnam that is taking place, for the yajnam that Brahma is doing, is after doing the manasika yajnam and the dhyana yajnam and all that, after this Srishtikarta is doing, For that, what is the Yaga Pasu? Brahma himself. That is why we read, even Brahma has got a limited lifespan, 1000 Brahma years. We say 51st year of current Brahma. Like that, because his life span is also limited, he is also offering himself as harvest, finally. Now, so for the Devargal, the yajnam that is taking place already by Parama Purusha is effulgent through the various Indriya Devadegal, carrying out the yajnam. Yajnam is taking place. The Brahma, the Srishtikarta also has his lifespan. And so he is for the Devargal are using that Brahma as the Pasu, Yaga Pasu. Deva yat yajnam tanvanaha abadnan purusham pasum. Devaha Devargal yajnam this yagam tanvanaha doing that yat purusham. That Brahmavahya, Srishtikartha, that Virata Purusha. Okay, Virata Purusha. That Virata Purusha vai, Pasum, Homa Pasuva hai, Yajna Pasuva hai, Abadhan. They bound him like the same way you and I are bound. Because whatever I want, I cannot live forever in this body. The body has to go. Your body has to go. This is, in my life, my body is the home of Pasu, Yajna Pasu. It has to finally go into that fire. Same way for you, same way for everything in creation. Okay? In our life, it is like that. A cockroach life is like that. An ant's life is like that. Everything that embodiment, that so-called gross body, is offered as the home of Pasu. In the Brahmanda thing, Brahma's life, Brahma himself, that becomes this Sariram itself becomes the home of Pasu. So this is what the Devargal bind him like that. And Devargal are nothing but effulgences, Sakti, that is manifested by Bhagavan, by Parama Purusha. That is how this creation takes place. Okay. So this is the mantram today. Saptasya san paridayah sapta samidha krutah tang yajnam barhishe praukshanne purusham jatamagratah tena deva ayajanta sadhya rishayaschaye. Now, this is the first, the so-called Visargam that we call it, okay. Now, from there, now you're going to see how the various gross embodiments, the various forms that you and I see, how they manifest. That is going to come now. But before that, what is the Yaga Pasu? That has to be blessed by Vedic mantrangal. Prokshanam, we call it, right? We go to a temple, we get Prokshanam with Abhisheka Tirtham and all that, right? That Prokshanam is very important. That is the first sentence here in the next mantram. Tam yajnam barhishe praukshanesi prokshan, okay? Purusham jatamagratah, okay? And then Tena deva ayajanta sadhya rishayaschaye. So that of the Yajna Pasu from Brahma, how the Sadhyargal, Rishigal, and then the animals, birds, everything is going to come, and the Veda Mantrangal, how all of this is going to come. Okay, that is beginning in the next mantram. That with Bhagavan's grace we will take up in our next session, okay, so that we can do it in a complete way. So just again, quickly, going through the Purusha Suktam, Sahasrasīrisha Purusha, Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat, Sabhumim Visvato Vritva, Atyatishtat Dasang Gulam, Purusha Yevedagam Sarvam, Yat bhutang yat cha bhavyam utamrutattateshanah yadannena tirohati etavanasya mahima ato jyagaguscha purushah pado yavitva bhutani tripadasyamutam divi tripadurdha udai purushah pado veha bhavat punah tato viksanjak Ramati Kasananasade Adhi Tasmaat Viradajayate Virajo Adhipurushaha Tajato Atyarichyate Paschad Bhumi Matho Puraha Yat Purushena Abhisha Deva Yajnamatanvate Vasanto Atya Tidajyam Grishma Yidbhat Sharadhavihi Saptatyasan paridhayah triptaptasamidhat krutah devayat yajnantam vanah abadhan purusham pasum. Now, up to this point, if you've got at least an introduction, insight, little bit of an insight into it, the subsequent parts will become much easier. Except when we come to Brahmana, Kshatriya and all, we need to understand it a little bit carefully. Okay? So, with your permission, we will conclude today. Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om Swasti Prajabhyaka Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahi Mahitaha Go Brahmanebhyaha Subhamastu Nityam Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Are you all happy? Any questions, comments, thoughts or observations of anyone? Please.
Hari Om Guruji. Om Namo. Namaskaram. Ravi.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram. Namaskaram, Ravi.
Great understanding. இன்னைக்கும் இதுல வந்து இன்னைக்கு கேட்ச்வேர்ட்ஸா நீங்க சொன்னது வந்து எடுத்துக்கிறது வந்து இந்த பிரபஞ்சம் பிகம்ஸ் யுவர் பாடி அப்படின்றது சொல்றேன். அது ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு இன்னைக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப கிரேட் திங் யூ ஹாவ் எக்ஸ்பிளைன்டு. அது வந்து நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி அது கொஞ்சம் டீப்பா அது கான்டம்ப்ளேட் பண்ணி தான் அது புரிஞ்சுக்க முடியும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். தியானம் பண்றச்சு நானும் அதை ஃபீல் பண்றதுக்கு ட்ரை பண்றேன். இந்த புருஷ சூக்தம் எல்லாம் இப்போ வந்து நாங்க படிக்க ஆரம்பிக்கலாமா, உச்சாடனம் பண்ணலாமா?
100%. 100%. Please, if the inspiration comes to learn to chant the Purusha Suktam, please do that. Remember, he prompts, Bhagavan prompts, so the inspiration thought comes, that means you must follow it through, but as a submission to him.
ஓகே. ஏன்னா அந்த சந்தஸ் எல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் கரெக்டா சொல்ல வேண்டும் சொன்னேன். அதுல வந்து எதுவும் மிஸ்டேக் பார்த்து பண்ணணும்னு சொல்றேன். நீங்க சொல்ல இதே சந்தஸ் இதே இது வந்து அப்படியே மெயின்டைன் பண்ணி சொல்லிக்கலாம், அப்படித்தானே?
We learn from somebody, sir. No problem at all. We can, but you're right. You have to learn it from somebody who has learned it properly, and then pray to Bhagavan. Okay, he will guide you. Very important, because it's not just enough to read from the book. It doesn't. But there are lots of materials available, sir. But yes, please continue. Follow through on that. Okay, it's a very noble prompting you have. Noble prompting.
அதான் இப்ப நீங்க இது வரைக்கும் சொன்னது இதே சந்தஸ் இதே ஸ்வரத்திலே அப்படியே சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கலாம், அப்படிதானே? அது ஆக்சுவலி அதோட யூடியூப்ல நம்ம கேட்டிருக்கோம். அதுவும் இது ஒண்ணாங்கிறத மட்டும் நான் ஜஸ்ட் ஐ வாண்ட் டு கன்ஃபார்ம் ஃப்ரம் திஸ் ஃப்ரம் யூ.
Generally it should be it doesn't change, so this should be this is the way it's normally done. If you want, I'll recite it, chant it a little bit slower for you next time. No problem.
Yes, sure. So that அது எங்களுக்கு ஒரு இன்ஸ்பிரேஷனா இருக்கும். நாங்க கொஞ்சம் இது எடுத்து பண்ணிப்போம், அதனால கேட்டேன்.
No problem at all. Absolutely, we'll be happy to do that. If Ramesh says there is enough time, I'll do it right now for you, so it gets recorded and you don't have to delay it, because when Bhagavan prompts something, we should never delay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Let's go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Om तच्चन्योरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजम् तन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे तञ्चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विस्पतो वृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलम् पुरुष ये वेदगुं सर्वम् यद् भूतं यच्च भव्यम् उतामृतत्वस्तेषानः यदन्नेनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अतो ज्यायगश्च पुरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादूर्ध्व उदैत् पुरुषः पादोऽस्येह भवात् पुनः ततो विश्वं व्यक्रामत् शासनानसने अभि तस्माद् विराड जायत विराजो अधिपुरुषः स जातो अत्यरिच्यत पश्चाद्भूमिमथो पुरः यत्पुरुषेण हविषा देवा यज्ञमतन्वत वसन्तो अस्य सीदाज्यम् ग्रीष्मयुग्मः शरद्धविः सप्तास्यासन् परिधयः त्रिसप्तसमिध कृताः देवाय यज्ञन्तन्वानाः अबध्नन् पुरुषं पशुम्. Are you happy, sir?
Yes, Guruji. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Thank you.
Anybody else? Namaskaram. Anybody else? Any other comments? Namaskaram. Then with Bhagwan, for next week, it's okay for you all to have a session. It's okay for me. I'm available. I'm asking you all because of.
We'll continue as per the plans.
We'll
Sure.
continue.
Sure.
Okay, very good. Yeah, same time we will continue. Okay.
Continue.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram. May God
Namaskaram.
bless you. Sai Ram.
Namaskaram.